Hello, everyone. Mm, I don't understand why this always having an issue with um, Instagram. Always having an issue. Okay, let's see if this is working now. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. How are you doing? Okay, we are live on Facebook. Let me just confirm all the other ones. Let me know it's only Instagram because for some, okay, we're live on LinkedIn and okay, we are live on YouTube. So it's only Instagram that is giving us stress. I might have to go live on Instagram on my phone. Truly, always not quite aligning. Always not quite aligning. So let me see if I can go live from my phone. So, how are you doing? I trust everything is okay with you. Why does it feel as if this lighting suddenly went dark? Or is it me? Maybe it's me. Okay, so we're starting a new, will I call it series? Yeah, today. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let me just go live on Instagram on my phone. Okay. This oh, this Instagram is always giving me one stress or the other. I don't know why. Okay. So I think we're finally live on Instagram. Yes, yes. So we're live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on YouTube. So welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. Please let me know how the audio is doing today. Um, I'm trying to see if I can hear the audio. What happened? I can't see. Okay, we're live on Facebook. Okay. Oh, check. I can't hear anything on Facebook. Please do let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me because I'm checking on the Facebook and I can't hear anything. Okay, so we're having some kind of audio issue. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Maybe there's a conflict. Let me remove this. Let's see. Can you hear me? Please do let me know because I I can't hear myself on Facebook. Can you hear me? On Instagram, can you hear me? Okay. Looks like we're having technical issues today. Yeah, looks like we're having technical issues. So please let me know if you can hear me so that I can make adjustments where necessary. Let me put back this microphone and see whether that is the issue and take off this one because uh, that was it. All right. Okay, that was the issue. All right, so we're good now. Okay. Technology, one of those things. All right, so as I said, we're starting a new series today. Welcome, good morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. It's always my pleasure to have you here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Um, I always say, and I'll continue to say, I am your personal guide on this journey of growth. I will remain your personal guide on this journey of growth. Um, we have been on this journey for quite a while now, and we will continue for as long as we can carry. We'll keep going, we'll keep learning together, we'll keep growing together. So we've just concluded a series on pro- habits that will help us have a productive year, a productive life, not even just a productive year, productive life. That was the series we just concluded. And kind of as a follow up to that, we are looking at relationships this the next 1 2 months. I don't know. It depends on how we go. So we're looking at relationships, and we are looking at relationships that grow you. Yeah, relationships that grow you, and that is having making connections, having meaningful connections, not just connections now, meaningful connections that will help you to grow, that will help grow you. So that is what we're going to be talking about the next few sessions. So once again, welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. This is the first in this series, is the first topic in this series. Um, we will look at different aspects of relationships. But today we're going to start with the topic says your circle shapes you, and it has a sub topic there that says audit your relationships. And I really think that's important. One of the greatest currencies that we have, which we do not make the best use of, I feel, generally, is relationships, people. Um, can't even imagine myself where I would be today without some relationships. I'm just even trying to. Please let me know on Instagram if you can hear me clearly, because the mic I'm using, this mic works with this laptop. Not sure of the phone, and I don't. Okay, let me try this. Just give me a second. Let me try. Uh, uh, this might not work. Instagram is becoming such a difficult platform. Okay, just 1 minute. Oh, let me see if this will work on Instagram using this mic. Please bear with me. Sorry for all the up and down, up and down. Let me see this other mic. I hope it will not interfere with this one. Okay. So do let me know on Instagram if you can hear me clearly, if the volume is good. I know the Facebook link, the volume is good because I'm using this, is gone. Ugh, Instagram is just, I don't know. I've left it. I won't bother. I really will not bother with it. Okay, so as I said, we're looking at relationships this series, relationships that grow you, not just relationships, but the ones that grow you, because we're all about growth. We're all about, being better. We're all about improving. So relationships that grow you, not just any old relationship, not just a relationship for the sake of relationships, but the ones that actually grow you, the ones that actually make you better. And I was saying that one of the most overlooked resource we have as people is relationships. We don't really most times take the best advantage of the relationships we have. This does not mean you're being um, mean or anything. It doesn't mean you're using people, as in using people. That's not what I'm talking about. But it's being able to make use of what you have, those relationships that you have, make use of them to improve yourself. Being like I said, I don't know where I would be today without relationships. Last week we met my mentor, Pastor Favor. There, there are a lot of things I learned from her, a whole lot, that if I hadn't been in that connection with her, I don't know if I would have learned some. I don't know whether it was last year. We met a couple of my spiritual mentors, and I don't know where I would have been. Pastor Bridget, I don't know where I would have been if I had not come in contact with her. So it's a sense. Oh, I didn't wear my earrings today. I saw it myself. Is that right? So I don't know where I would be without relationships. I really don't know where I would be. So it's essential for us to grow, to make connections that are meaningful. Not just connections again, but connections that are meaningful. So think about it. Who helped you grow? Who in your circle helped you grow? Even without you realizing it, because many a times we don't even realize the people that have helped us to grow. So in your own circle, in your own sphere, who helped you grow without you even realizing it? Who impacted you? What relationships did you have that impacted you so much and helped you to grow? Just think about it. I'm sure even as I think, I can remember a couple of people that taught me one thing or the other without my realizing it. There was no um, official mentorship. There was no official mentorship. But by observation, by being in close proximity with those people, I learned a lot. So think about it. Who helped you go without you realizing it? Because really, relationships is currency and it helps us to grow. People that are around us. At the same time, they can help us to go backwards. Yeah. So it's a two-way street. Relationships can help you grow and also bring you down. That's why it's essential that we audit our relationships. It's very essential that we audit our relationships. So we're going to be looking at some of the habits that will help us nurture intentional growth-centered relationships. That is what we're going to be looking at in this series. The habits that we will imbibe that will help us nurture intentional, growth-centered relationships. All right. So um, today is just to lay a foundation, and in future sessions we'll look at other aspects of it. So I'm just going to lay a basic foundation about your relationship, the circle that shapes the circle shapes you, the people around you. You can't grow in isolation. We all know this. You need to grow in circles. You need to grow with the community of people that will help you. So these are the people who influence. They influence your decisions. They influence your mindset. They influence your emotions. They influence the direction that you go. Have you noticed that if you have a circle of, let's say, two, three, four, five friends, generally they're heading in the same direction. Sorry, not right necessarily, but they're heading in the same direction. They have the same mindset generally. You can pinpoint this is this person's friend because in a way they begin to act in similar ways. And this is normal. This is why you need to audit your own relationship, your own circle, to be sure that you're moving with people that will take you where you really want to go, and not people that will take you backwards or backwards. So it's very essential that we audit our relationship. It's essential we understand our circle because, like I said, we can't grow in isolation. There is no human being that grow in isolation. It's impossible. You grow in your circle. Right? So these are, of course, once again, the people that influence your decisions, your mindset, your emotions. That is your circle. And generally, an audit is an assessment. Um, checking if those relationships are healthy, helpful, hindering, just like you do a financial audit of your company. You want to see the health of your company. Is the company doing well? Does it need help here or there? One or two. These are what you do in an audit. You assess the health, you assess the viability of your company. So you also need to audit your relationship to assess the health, to assess the viability. Your circle, is your circle hindering? Is your circle healthy? The relationship that you surround yourself in. So it is essential that we audit our relationships. Then we will know what to, let's say, who to let go, who to stay with. It sounds a bit kind of harsh to say they're going to let go some people, but really, it's life. For you to grow, there are some people that don't need to be in your main circle. They can be in the periphery. They can be in the periphery. They don't need to be in the main circle. There are people like that. And there are people that must be within your inner circle. They must be. So that is why you audit your relationships. And that is the habit we want to start with, auditing your relationship, examining your relationship. The same way you would examine your budget, the same way you would examine your health, your relationships. Because truly, some people are assets and some are liabilities. And you need to know who is who in your relationship. You need to figure out who is the asset, who is the liability, and know where to, put them. Because if you really truly want to, it's essential. Your circle must be audited. Your circle must be audited. There are several researches, theories out there. Um, the one that I've heard a lot, I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's Jim, Jim Rohns, that says you're the average of the five people you spend the most time with. So we've all heard that one. So imagine it: five people you spend most of your time with. Look at those five people. You are The average of those five people. Just think about it. Let us thinking for a second. Just for a second, think about it. The five people you spend the most time with, yeah, the average of those people. So if the five people you spend the most time with are ne'er-do-wells, imagine, imagine. If there are people with poverty mentality, imagine where you are. Imagine who you are. So you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. Your income, your attitudes, your motivation, even your morality mirrors your circle. Mirrors your circle. So it is essential. This audit is essential that you audit your relationship. It's your life basically depends on it. Your growth depends on it. That you audit your relationships and find out and figure out who are assets to you, who are liability. This is not to say that you should use people because they are assets. You now use them. No, relationship has to be mutually beneficial, of course, but you have to do the audit. You have to do the audit first. There's another research. It's called the social contagion theory, and this was developed in Harvard. And it says emotions, habits, and even weight are contagious within social networks. This one I found it very, very interesting. It says you are influenced not just by your friends, but by their friends. Then he gave an example. So if a friend of a friend gains weight or becomes more optimistic, you're statistically more likely to imagine that. Now, this is not even now just your friends, but even the friend of a friend influences you, your emotions, your habits, and when they said even even weight, I began to think about it. And somehow I can see that it is actually true. Because if you're in the midst of health conscious, your friends are all health conscious, all trying to live healthy, all trying to lose weight and all that, the tendency is for you to also try to live healthy. No, it's not as if it's like you must, but the tendency, because this is what you're surrounded by. If you're surrounded by people who are pessimistic, who never see good in anything, they're always seeing the bad side of everything, you generally will be pessimistic. You generally will be pessimistic. So think about, um, let's just say, think about the last big decision you made in your life. Who influenced it most? The last big decision you made in your life, who influenced it most? Just take a minute and think about it. Maybe you changed jobs recently. Maybe you went back to school, something. Maybe you got married. Who influenced it? We like to think, oh, it was my decision, but somebody influenced it. Who influenced? Just give it a thought. And you will see why it is essential to audit your relationships. You understand why it is necessary to audit your relationships, to know who and who are in your circle. To know who and who are in your circle. It is very, very important. Even the Bible tells us, the more I the more I study growth, the more I look at all these studies, all these theories, and all that, I realize that the Bible is complete. I'm sorry, it is complete. Because the Bible tells us, walk with the wise and become wise. For a companion of fools, walk with the wise, become wise. So if you surround yourself with wise people, you generally will be wise. You will make wiser decisions, even if you don't become 100% wise, but you will make wiser decisions by reason of the people you surround yourself. So walk with the wise. Wisdom is transparent. We know wisdom is transparent. That is why when you walk with the wise, you become wise. If you move with someone that is like a walking dictionary, tell me that in time you will not learn how to use big words. You will learn it. You will learn it. Not even that you're trying to meet up with that friend, but because the person uses these words and probably, if he's a good friend, defines them for you when you're lost, you learn it. And before you know it, you're using big words. You're using proper English. You're speaking Queen's English simply because the people around you speak Queen's English. There are people like we all know in Nigeria, our accent is different. But take your child now in Nigeria and place your child in a school where they teach um, with like an American accent or British accent, whichever one it is, but not our usual Nigerian accent. Place your child there. Then they won't come out speaking as if they studied abroad. They will come out. I have evidence. I've seen it live. So your bad company corrupts good character. The Bible says it, and it is true. Bad company corrupts good character. Even when you're trying your best to be good, you're not immune to negative influence. You're not immune. And that's I think that's part of the mistake that we make sometimes is to think that we're immune, to think that we're immune from negative influence. And we're not. We're not immune. So remember that our topic today is we're talking about yourself, what shapes you, update your relationships, so that you can know who is around you and begin to know how to reshape who is around you because it will definitely affect things. It will definitely affect your life. So ensure that audit your relationship. Ensure that you audit your relationship. So how do we now do this audit? How do you audit your relationships? Um, let me say, when you're doing an audit of your relationship, the question you're asking yourself, the question you're asking is one, who is consistently influencing my thoughts? Who is consistently influencing my decisions? Who is consistently influencing the direction that I am going? That's the question you need to ask yourself when you do an audit of your relationship. Just like, as I said earlier, you audit your business, you audit your finances, and all that. Check what is working, what is not working, what is unaccounted for, what is leaking. That is what you do in an audit. So that's the same thing you need to do with your relationship. Who is consistently influencing your thoughts, your decisions, your direction? And the next question you ask yourself, how are these influences, how are they shaping me? So who is, okay, let me say, for example, if I were to do my audit of my relationships right now, and I ask who is consistently influencing my thoughts, my decisions, my direction, I can point out two, three persons. Aside from family, I'm not counting family right now on purpose, not because family is not part of me. It's not easy to get rid of family, so it's not easy to say I will not, this I'm not dealing with this family member. But that is not where I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is the people that influence my thoughts, decisions, and direction. I can think of three people off the top of my head without even too much thought. That anything I do today, I can somehow point it back to them. I can somehow connect it back to them. There are three people. There are three people. And how are these influences shaping me? They're actually shaping me in a good way because I can see the impact of those relationships in my life. I can see that they are not leading me down a bad path, they're not leading me down a rabbit hole or anything. They are leading me to progress, they're leading me to do better. So even right here and now, doing a quick audit of my relationships, I've already identified three people that constantly and consistently influence my thoughts, influence my decisions, influence my direction. And I can say that these influences are shaping me positively. I can say it for a fact. Like I can even mention two of them right off the top of my head. Like I said, number one, Pastor Favor Siri Wisdom. Number two, Pastor Bridget. It seems they're all pastors, but it is what it is. But they are not, they're not even influencing me only spiritually. That's the thing. If it was just maybe spiritual, I'm being biased in this my assessment. But these two people are influencing my thoughts, my decisions, my direction, not just spiritually, but in the things that I do, my career, my life outputs. These two, for sure, for sure. So you need to sit down also yourself and do this audit. Ask yourself this question: who is consistently influencing my thoughts, my decisions, my directions? There was a time that when I was, still a part of Pastor Favor's inner circle. Yes, if I want to do something, the first thought that comes to my mind is, if you do this, will you still meet up with maybe an assignment or something Pastor Favor gave you? You know, it would make me sit down and then redo my this timeline I want to say now, redo my to-do list. This thing I'm doing now, is it an excuse? Because if you watch last session, you remember that I mentioned that one thing she taught me is that don't give excuses. It doesn't matter. Don't give excuses. It doesn't matter. Do not give any excuses. So that's really, really shaped me positively because I hardly give excuse for anything. Hardly. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not a saint. I'm not a robot. I'm not a computer either. I am a human being. So I do once in a while fall into giving excuses. But generally, because of that influence, I don't give excuses. I find a way to get it done. I find a way to get it done. So you can say that that is a positive influence that is shaping me positively. So do the same thing with your relationships. Then there's something that is called a growth circle inventory. This is like a practical way to do this audit of your um, relationships. And one, it has three, um, as the growth circle inventory model, it has three, what do I call it now? Three aspects. One is called the growth boosters. That is, who are the people who inspire you, who are the people who stretch you, who support your growth, who are those people. The next categorization is the neutral ties. Who are the people who are present but not positively or negatively impactful? So, excuse me. And the last one are the energy drainers. Who are the people who discourage, who distract, or who drain you emotionally, spiritually? In doing your relationship audit, you categorize people into these three basic categories: growth boosters, people who inspire, who stretch, who support your growth. The neutral ties, people who are present, they're there, but they're not positively, neither are they negatively impacting your life. And then the energy drainers, the people who discourage, who distract, who drain you emotionally and spiritually. Categorize your relationship into these three categories. I mean, you can do it right now, actually. You can just take a second, In your heart, in your mind, categorize the people around you, your relationships, your circle into these three categories. Who are the growth boosters in your life? Who are the neutral ties? Who are the you can put, in your head. Or if you're a chance to have a piece of paper, write it down. Like, this is not you bashing anybody. It's not you bashing anybody with it. It's not you insisting that um, or making anybody out to be the bad seed or the bad apple. No, for your growth, for you to move from point A to point Z, you need to figure out the people who are growth boosters in your life, the people who are the neutral ties, and the people who are the energy drainers. I'm not saying you will cut them off completely and you will never, that's the energy drainers, you'll never talk to them again, you cut them off. That's not what it means. It means that you concentrate on the growth boosters so that you can grow, so that you can grow. So um, I'm trying to categorize people into these three categories and ask yourself questions like, um, who leaves you feeling lifted, encouraged after a conversation? That person is a booster. Who is it that whenever you sit with them and have the conversation, you come out lighter, you come out feeling better, you come out energized, you come out ready to go? That is a booster. Who do you talk to? Maybe probably out of this habit. That when you come out of that conversation, that discussion with that person, yeah, I don't want to say you're sad, but you're just heavy. You're just heavy. The interaction with that person leaves you heavy. That person is a drainer. That person is an energy drainer. So restrict. I said a couple of people say restrict your interactions because that person will always bring you down. There's this expression they have. They say somebody is a Debbie Downer. Please restrict your interactions with the Debbie Downers. Like I say, you're not cutting off anyone. Well, there's some people you might have to cut off, but we're not talking about that today. I'm not cutting off. We're just restricting our interaction and increasing our interaction with the boosters. So then there are some people that, you know, you've actually outgrown them and you know you have outgrown them, but you are still carrying them out of obligation. These are like the neutral guys. They're just present, but they're not, some of them are not impacting you negatively or positively. So when you are able to sit down and do this classification, you will know the people who need to be in the inner circle, the people who need to be in the outer circle, and the people who need to just remain acquaintances. That's the essence of this audit. So if you think that you need to do this, if I know you do, I know you need to do this audit today. Just drop a comment for me, ask a question. Um, what do you think? Um, have you done this audit in your head as we are talking? Just let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this because really, I think this is important. I think this is important. Okay, so now that you have identified the growth boosters, neutral ties, energy drainers, you need to go maybe just a step deeper, just a step deeper. And as you do this, you just ask yourself, some questions. This whole relationship audit is you asking questions, getting answers, then taking a step further. Once you have gotten the answers, you take a step further and analyze it and get answers and possibly take a step further until you get to the point where, okay, this is my circle. These are the people I need to be spending more time with because they are boosting, because they are helping me, because they are sustaining me. Somehow they are feeding into my growth. Remember, I said we're not talking about cutting off people here. We're not talking about cutting off people here. We're just talking of probably just restricting your time with the direct people who are doing that. Okay, so you ask yourself, as you have done this audit, who do I feel safe being vulnerable with? Who challenges me to become better? Who do I call when I need clarity? Or who constantly brings drama? Who do I keep around because I'm afraid of conflict and all that? All that. These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. And I want to put a caveat here because sometimes relationships, they're not bad. The relationship might not be bad, might not be bad. It is that it has expired. We have to keep this in mind as we're doing this audit. Some relationship, they're for a season, they're not forever, but you're still holding on to them. So you need to review that. You need to think about that and know whether this relationship has expired. It's not an easy thing to do. It's actually a hard thing to do. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it has to be done. So ask yourself the questions, categorize your relationships so that you will know how to adjust. Because adjust you must. If you must grow, you do have to adjust your circle. You have to adjust your circle. It's just it is what it is. You have to adjust. So there's another test, another thing that they suggest, these experts suggest that you apply what is called the circle alignment test. And this is simply where you look at every person in your circle and you should meet at least one of these. You should align with your values. They challenge your vision. They support your growth. They respect your boundaries. So you apply this test to all your relationships. It will help you really know who to keep and who to put in the sidelines. Like I said, we're not cutting people off now. We're not cutting anybody yet. We're just trying to audit and know the people that are helpful for growth in our circle so that we don't have to adjust that circle. I'm not saying that, because you're successful, if you don't have friends that are not successful. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I'm not even talking about, people who are of the same level as you. Not necessarily. Because I have seen situations where someone that is, in quotes, of a lower status, and I'm using that word carefully. I don't believe in people, uh, classifying other people, but someone that maybe is not okay, let me even use age range because in our part of the world we believe the older you are the wiser you are. So you see someone that is younger than you and you discountenance them just because they are younger. No, that person could actually be impactful. So when you're doing this is why you really need to do this audit. Because you can find people like that who ordinarily you would think they have no business in this, but they are actually impactful. They're actually adding to you. So that's why you need to do this audit. Make sure that as you look through your circle, do they align with your values? The people that you surround yourself with, are they in alignment with your values? Do they challenge your vision? Do they support your growth? Do they respect your boundaries? I think this last one is what is like a game changer. Do they respect your boundaries? People that don't respect your boundaries really have no business being close to you. I said it. People that don't respect your boundaries really have no business being close to you. Keep them, you know, fine. Because anybody that does not respect your boundaries is not looking for your good. Tell you. So anybody that is in your circle that consistently does the opposite of this thing that I've said. They don't align with your values, they don't challenge your vision, they don't support your growth, they don't respect your boundaries. That person has no business being in your circle. Redefine the person's access to you. Redefine the access. Like I said, you're not cutting the person off, you're not unfriending them. No, you're just redefining their access to you. That's all. That's all. Then, once you have done this, how do you now redefine their access to you? I said the word redefine their access. What do you do? Remember, we're not cutting anyone off. Oh. We are not cutting anyone off. It's not even, it might not be necessary. There are some people that might need to be cut off, but not everyone needs to be cut off. But everyone needs, needs to have their own level of access. I think that's a good way to put it. So not everyone needs to be cut off, truly, but not everyone should also have the same access to you. Not everyone. So, in order to your relationship circle, you need to figure out the people who are in your inner circle, the intimate, high trust individuals, the people who are like purpose partners to you. They are aligned seasonally. Then the people who are casual companions for light interactions and all that. Then people who are acquaintances. They're not major influences, right? But they are your friends. They're your acquaintances. Like I said, we're not cutting people off. We're just restricting and redefining their access to you. So basically, access should be based on alignment. Actually, access should be based on alignment. Are they, aligned to your values? you know, I believe, I personally believe that your inner circle should have more people who align, more people who challenge you, more people who support you, more people who, respect your boundaries. Those should be people in your inner circle because they are the people that you trust with your life, basically. So you have to carefully think about who's in that inner circle. The inner circle has like complete access. The people in your inner circle. Okay. I'm just looking at the comments. Oh, okay. You said a lot. Okay, yes. Yeah, you have to check if relationship has expired. Some have expired and don't realize it. She also says some of the stress people go through is having the wrong kind of people around you, giving the wrong pressure. Yes, yes, very, very true. Very, very key. Very, very key. It's important. There's some stress we go through that we don't have to. And it's simply because we have the wrong people in our lives. Remember, like we're not cutting people off per se, we're just redefining their access to us. Redefining their access to us. So the access should be Kochifi also said there are people that refuse and continually cross our boundaries. They have nothing. Just shift them. Truly shift them. Anybody that is always, as in consistently refusing to respect your boundaries, has no business in your life. Shift them to the very, very, very side as far as possible. shift them there. It's not easy. I'm saying it now, it's rolling off my tongue as if it's an easy thing. I know it's not an easy thing, but it has to be done. I had a relationship that was very close for a long time, very close for a long time. And I valued this relationship. I really did. I valued it. But I began to see at a point that this relationship was becoming toxic. Not, toxic as in the person, this is girlfriend relationship where people think I'm talking about um, male-female relationship. No, this was a friend of mine, a lady. And I began to see that this relationship was becoming toxic simply because I started seeing that the person was no longer supporting my growth. I began to see it's not even that they were not even really crossing boundaries, like seriously crossing boundaries. But I noticed that they were negative. So I quietly, honestly, till today, I'm even wondering whether the person knows they have been shifted. I don't think they know that they have actually been moved because we're not quarreling. We still discuss. We still, have interactions, but her access has been reduced. I have, moved her out of inner circle and basically moved her to casual company. And there is no quarrel. This is the important thing. This is the important thing. There is no quarrel cutting off people now. What I'm talking about now is not cutting off anyone yet. But you do need to redefine their access. Because access should be based on alignment, not just attachment. There are some of us that are carrying people, relationships that we should have thrown away long ago, but we're still carrying them because of attachment, because of attachment, not because they are adding value to us or anything. They're probably even, crossing our boundaries every day. Probably they may be crossing boundaries day after day, and we still keep them. So shift them from inner circle, move them to casual companions or to acquaintances. Okay. So now that we've redefined access, how do I even put this now? Let me give us an assignment somehow. Let me give us an assignment. Sit down, really. Sit down with yourself and the people that's around you and do this audit of your relationship. It's so important. It's really, really, really important. Like I said, the example I gave, that I didn't even realize that that relationship I was saying initially was becoming toxic for me because this person was so vital to me in a season. She was vital in that season. I mean, when I say vital, I mean vital. And I was attached now. When it was no longer aligned and I didn't even initially notice it. But because I'm someone that, I didn't know this is what I was doing. Let me say it. When I was doing it, then I didn't know I was auditing my relationships. But I'm someone that likes to sit down and review my relationships quite often because I don't have that many. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm not one of the people that have a million friends. I am not. So maybe because I don't have a million friends, it's easy for me to sit and review my relationships. Maybe, but it's something that I do. So it was in the process of rethinking doing this review, doing this audit, that is when I realized that this relationship has expired. In fact, it was no longer that essential. It was no longer that essential. She's still a friend, but she cannot currently be in my inner circle. She cannot. And each and every one of us needs to do the same. And you also, now in doing this relationship audit, it's not just their influence on you, it's also your influence on them. We have to be real with ourselves. So as we are doing this audit and checking who should or shouldn't be in our inner circle, we should also consider whose inner circle we have no business being in. Because sometimes we're in people's inner circle and we really shouldn't be there. Let's be honest with ourselves. We really have no business being there. So audit your relationships, both the ones that, will I say, affect you now, and your own impact on other people's lives. Are you, um, in relation to these people that we are looking at, all this, are you a growth booster in their own life? Or are you an energy drainer? So it's a two-way street. You're auditing people's impact on your life, but you also audit your own impact in people's lives. You will know if we are honest with ourselves in doing this assessment, we will know if we're energy drainers to people. And you can now choose to put yourself as an acquaintance or become a growth booster to that person. So this audit of relationship goes both ways. I've talked a lot about you auditing the people in your circle, but also consider your position in other people's lives. Consider your position. Do you leave people feeling lifted after a conversation with you? Or do you leave them feeling heavy? Think about it. Think about it. Do you support people's growth? Are you one that respects people's boundaries? This is a two-way, double-edged sword. As we are doing it for others, we also need to do it for ourselves. We also need to ensure that we are people that promote others' growth. Those are aligned to us. We promote their growth. We are not drainers. Okay. I'm checking comments. Coach Ify says, I check my friendships on how they make me feel after I have met with them. When I go home or drop that call, am I apprehensive or do I breathe better? Exactly. Exactly. We need to know each relationship that we have. How do we feel after an interaction with that person? And like I said, we also need to check, how do we make others feel after an interaction with us? Do we put in every effort to ensure that we leave people better than we met them? It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. And I want to say this too, because sometimes when we're doing this relationship audit, there's a tendency for us to start thinking, are we not being selfish? No, you're not being selfish. You're protecting your peace. You're being strategic about your tomorrow. You're protecting your peace. I think that's even the most important aspect. You're protecting your peace. Welcome, Kelechi. I can see you on Facebook. Thank you for joining. So you're protecting your peace. That is what you're doing when you audit your relationships. You're protecting your peace. And you're being strategic about your future. You're not stuck with the circle you have. You don't have to be. But you can actually grow into the circle you want to be. You can grow into the circle you want to be. So ensure that you do regular audits of your relationships. Just like, they say we do every year, you do a health check. Um, Even financial reviews we do every year. Ensure that you also do an audit of your relationships. I mean, I can't say you must do it every year or every 6 months. It's up to you. You know your circle is different, your dynamics are different. Know when to do the audit. Evaluate the people who are influencing you. Look at how they are influencing you. It's very essential. It's very important. Very key. And once we have done this audit, we have completed the audit, you have checked, who is an energy booster, who's a growth booster, who is just an idle person in your life, or who is the drainer. You now need to reposition, reduce access, shift expectations, redefine the relationship, reposition. After you have repositioned, recommit. Those people that are in your inner circle, go deeper with them. Those that will help you grow, recommit to go deeper with them. Reconnect. Um, Maybe, join a mentorship or something, but reconnect. Reconnect to that group that is now your inner circle. Reconnect. And then release. Release. It's okay to let go of those expired relationships, but do it with grace. Don't just dump. Don't just cut off. No. Growth is uncomfortable. Oh. There's no time that it is comfortable. Pruning is not sweet. To prune is not sweet. It is not. It's not palatable most times when you have to prune. But really, if you're a gardener, you know this. Nothing really grows without cutting back. For your plant to flourish, you have to trim some of the branches, cut off some things. Just that is how things grow. That is how things grow. So it's so essential that after we have done this audit, we reposition, reduce the access. For those you need to reduce access, shift the expectations, redefine the relationships, know who is in your inner circle, know who needs to be an acquaintance, reposition, recommit to those people that are in your inner circle, those that help you to grow, those that support your vision aligned with your values, recommit to them, reconnect with them if maybe there has been a disconnect of this well, and then release those people that those relationships that have expired. Release. Don't cut off, release. Just shift them to acquaintances. Shift them to acquaintances. Like I said, it's not selfish. You're just trying to protect your peace. It's allowed for you to protect your peace, for you to ensure your growth. It is allowed. That's why I've been repeating, don't cut off, because it's not about the cutting off. It's not about you will never talk to this person again. It's not about making the person feel bad. No, it's just about you adjusting, making adjustments where necessary. Your circle is like it's like the soil. It's like the soil that your purpose, your life vision is planted in. And you need to keep it fertilized. You need to keep it fertile so that you grow. So that you grow. Okay, so I think I will call it a day. Oh, yes, I've even gone over the time. Today, thank you for joining me. Today, share some, the comment section is open on Facebook. We couldn't connect to Instagram. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening with Instagram this period. We couldn't connect to Instagram, but we are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Yes, we're live on all those platforms. So share one insight from today's session, something that's, spoke to you, something that you're going to do, something you're going to practice. Share it in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. I would love to read from you. I'm just trying to check. Okay, if I have any messages on the other platforms. Okay. If you have any questions, please still go ahead and ask your questions. Any comments, go ahead and put it even as I am rounding up. Okay, I think I've gone round. I'm not seeing any new question. I'm not seeing any new questions. So thank you so much for joining me today on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Um, okay, maybe I'll share this with us after. Yeah, I'll share this with us after. So thank you for joining me today on Growth Habits with Ngozi, where we talked about your circle, and it's your circle that shapes you. It is your circle that shapes you. And you need to audit your relationships. That is basically what we talked about today. And remember that I said that as you audit your relationship and figure out the people who are boosters to your relationship, the people who are neutral ties, the people who are energy drainers, also consider whether you are a growth booster to those in your circle too, or are you a neutral tie to those in your circle? Are you an energy drainer to those in your circle? It goes both ways. And as you do this audit, reposition where you need to reposition, don't just cut off. We're not talking about cutting off anyone. We're just talking about realigning, reducing access where necessary, shifting expectations and all that. So do this and let me know in the comment section any insight from today's session. Let me know any questions, any comments of any sort. And I will see you. Oh, don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Of course, we're on LinkedIn. So follow us on all our social media handles. And we shall see you again next week. Yeah, we shall see you again next week right here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. The time remains 12 noon Nigerian time. All right, don't forget to make today an everyday count. Be valuable and ensure that you are growing. Always, always key, ensure that you are growing. Thank you so much and do have an awesome day. Bye.